Good morning. Welcome to your 2025 NXL debut. You're going to be watching Pittsburgh MASTODON taking on Philly CREW. Philly CREW on your right. They've already dropped one of the players from MASTODON, so we're 4-5 situation. MASTODON sliding to their secondary out there, that mini temple near the Dorito side. Philly CREW attempting to get into the snake now. They're at the snake insert bunker, what we're calling the mini temple. MASTODON's first in the snake. They're going to bypass almost everything, go right to the snake 3. He's looking for the shot on that tower. Tower knows he's there. He's going to take the opportunity to bump up that brick. Doing damage. Players walking off left and right. Number 84. He's got to deal with that temple. If you can get past that stand-up tower. Blows up the snake insert. Oh, he's going to pay for his life. That is fine. Oh, no. I see a penalty at the same time. Nope, no penalty. All right. There you go. Fine trade-off. MASTODON's going to take this one. They dropped a body early, but major comeback by pushing up that snake, number 84. It's not over yet. Well, it's over yet because they're going to concede. All right, once again, welcome to NXL 2025. We're here in the shadow of Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Former home of Tom Brady. I just got to plug that one. Your season opens with... On the backside of this match, we're going to watch TPPCREW, which is out of Puerto Rico, versus SUWT. We're trying. SUWT, we're trying around last year, so they're certainly in contention. They're one of the teams looking to move up and try to see if they can grab this division. We did have Leverage and Sea Dogs move up to Pro this offseason, which opens up the division for some new hopefuls. Here we go. SUWT, we're trying. Pushing up the middle. Pocket play. Already into the snake for TPPCREW. CREW with that mini wedge. SUWT, we're trying to look to either stop it or get in themselves. SUWT, we're trying does have that stand-up tower, which is critical to stopping this next move. He's got a shot down into the snake. SUWT, we're trying going to lose their backside on the Dorito. They do get in the snake themselves. They've mirrored up with TPPCREW. TPPCREW tower player on the snake side not looking snake way, which is a window opportunity here, and exactly what's going to happen to SUWT. We're trying is going to take that jump because that tower was not looking. He's going to wrap. There it goes. Blows up the butt pack. He's going to blow up that tower. There it is. 2 kills. Now he's got to go conservative mode. On the other side of the field, TPPCREW pushing that Dorito side. They're up to Dorito 3, I believe. SUWT, we're trying it fully in control of this point right now. There is nothing left for TPPCREW over here on the snake side. Frankly, if the SUWT, we're trying player wants to, he could drop, crawl, and probably finish out the game pretty easy. That's Connor Sanders over here working the snake side wedge. That TPPCREW player in the Dorito just trying to live behind his gun. There's a smart little drop back. It's going to get noticed, though. So the SUWT, we're trying snake player is just looking for new angle. He's going to close the distance. Same time, pushing up that Dorito side. If you're the TPP coach, you go ahead and let the point play out. There's no real reason to blow the horn yet. Throw the towel, but the odds aren't great, let's be honest. I'd like to see this SUWT. We're trying player. There we go. Start spread it wide again. He tried the inside route. one player left for TPPCREW, if my math is correct. Oh, the shut up, we're trying player overextends, walks right through a gun. He's going to take a walk. This is back to a point again. There we go. Shut up, we're trying is going to walk it in. Honestly, shut up, we're trying had a huge advantage there early on in the game. Their snake player did a ton of damage. But TPPCREW dug in their heel, managed to make it a point. All right, we're going into our next point. We're going to have MASTODON versus PRELIMS taking the field. MASTODON coming in kind of an unknown to me. PRELIMS was in the D2. They took 8th place overall last year. Decided to make the jump up here to semi-pro. PRELIMS on your left, MASTODON on your right. First body dropping over here for MASTODON. PRELIMS pushing up that middle. I'm a little surprised by that. I don't know how much we're going to see that this weekend. That middle 50 structure blocks a lot of shots, but I don't know how survivable it is. PRELIMS still doubled up at home. Swung out to both mini temples. Now out to this corner mini Dorito. MASTODON player in that snake temple insert. He's looking to make a move, but I do not think he's going to get the opportunity. He's going to have to win a gunfight and then make a move. Meanwhile, it looks like we have Michael Janiak here at the 50 on the snake. I don't think he picked it up, but there may have been movement on the Dorito side. He's going to have to watch his butt pack. Players walking off for both. Actually, MASTODON just lost 2 players, so the game should be tied up 3-3. Nope. More bodies walking off. It's getting bloody here. Michael asking for a check in the snake 50. I think he's going to be clean. That is that is a good move. If they've scouted the refs, they should know that this ref crew will throw a flag. They have no compunction with throwing flags if you got a hit on you. I know that sounds generic, but what I really mean is there's not a lot of oopsie. Here's going to be a trade. Trade on the Dorito side. Michael's calling his kill 4. He might be correct. Yep. I think we're down to a one-on-one. MASTODON pushing up that Dorito side. Michael's going to drop and crawl. No, we still have a home player for MASTODON. He's going to keep in check that Dorito side. Excuse me, Corrupt still has their home. Michael's now gotten to that corner. That leaves one MASTODON player on the Dorito side just trying to live. He's not going to, and Michael's going to. Great game for Michael Janiak. Janier, number 12. You're looking at our schedule for today. We're going to see a mix of semi-pro, pro WNXL action, and we have a little bit of surprise matches coming from D5. A little bit of buzz about that. We'll talk about that later. If you have a moment, you can also check out one of our sponsors this year, which is Ballsack. I'll wait for the giggling to stop. Ballsack has made a really cool product I truly believe in for filling pods. I believe it's ball-sack.com. Go check them out. Push up in the middle by TPPCREW. They are into that important snake template. Immediately pays dividends. He's going to blow up that snake player. So advantage, body advantage for TPPCREW over Shut Up We're Trying. TPPCREW also into this snake corner mini Dorito now. He's getting a check, though. It is a tiny Dorito. He is live. Shut Up We're Trying does the same thing. They're going to get in that Dorito corner. It is not going to work. He's going to take a walk. So 2 body advantage for TPPCREW. Now they're into snake. The best bunker to oppose the snake move is that tower, but the tower was crunching way low to the ground, and he had no shot to stop this TPP player. So he missed his opportunity, and now TPP is going to take that 50 brick. He's going to turn, look. I think he misses the shot. Shut Up We're Trying player tries to make a drop back. It does not work. He's unaware of a middle player for TPPCREW. TPPCREW is going to finish it out. Great work, by the way. You don't catch this stuff much on air when you're watching, but there's an accidental overshooting there by TPPCREW player. He immediately raised his hand to apologize to Shut Up We're Trying player. I'm a sportsmanship geek, so I'm going to call that out. Good work, TPP. We're going to flip back over to the Mastodon Philly Corrupt game. They are tied up 1-1, 11 minutes on the clock, so time is certainly not an issue yet. This is still the part of the weekend where teams are figuring out the field. You don't have a lot of time to practice this layout. It's released about a week and a half before the event. And, you know, unless you are a professional paintballer with no normal 9-to-5 job, you do not get a lot of opportunity to get on this field and play it. So this is still early on. I expect to see teams a little bit conservative in their breakouts until they get desperate. So far, that's what we're seeing. I expect to see some double-ups of home. Mastodon on your left, Philly Corrupt in the blue jerseys on your right. Looks like 5 live for both teams. Corrupt into the snake first. He's going to get up to that snake 2. Now that snake 2, where he is, the mini wedge, trying to make that jump to that mini wall, is opposed by this snake tower. First Mastodon player walking off the snake tower for Mastodon makes a bump up to the 50. Oh, he's going to pay for it. Again, I'm not sure how great the middle on this field is. There's a lot of layouts where I like pushes up the middle. I'm not sure this layout's going to be conducive to that. So now Philly Corrupt at the 50 brick. That butt pack for number 34 in Mastodon is in danger. This Corrupt player showing some patience. He's just going to lock on. He's going to wait for just the slightest mistake. He's got backup now. He can take some risks. He's got a teammate right behind him to fill in if he dies. Oh, he's going to lose his backup, though, right as he decides to make the bump himself. That's number 12 again, Michael Janier. Michael's doing good work this weekend so far. He's locked under that D1. It looks like he's going to get the kill. That really just leaves this mini temple here for Mastodon. No, I take it back. There's both mini temples are hot. He's going to lock onto the Dorito side mini temple. He's going to take a walk. Michael is killing everything today. Yeah, he puts one on him. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. There's a concession there to try to save his temple player by the Mastodon coach. Mastodon last player is going to take one shot as a thank you for coming out moment, but not too bad. All right, there you go. Good work by Corrupt. Good work by number 12 there, Michael Janier. Taking the field again, we got Shut Up We're Trying versus TPPCREW. They're knotted up at 1. Still clock, not an issue yet. Tied score in lots of time means the coaches can kind of do whatever they want. They're not pushed into any sort of game plan yet. They can experiment with stuff they haven't tried yet. Maybe make pushes, big runs to snakes, tripling up home. They can do whatever they want as a coach. Shut Up We're Trying going to go into that D1 and immediately into the D2. They go a little soft on the snake side. TPPCREW pulls up at the snake insert. That little mini temple. They're going to lose their first player on the Dorito side, so advantage Shut Up We're Trying. Shut Up We're Trying starting to push that Dorito side. They're up to the D3. They filled into the D1 behind it. The D2 and the D1 on this field, you're pretty much on your own if you want to be able to win a gun dominance battle with whoever's holding you in and make your bump. You don't need a whole bunch of guns to allow you to make your bump. You just got to get gun dominance and go. We're going to lose the snake tower and a penalty for Shut Up We're Trying. Their snake side just evaporated. They've got great penetration up the Dorito side, but they're going to have to do some work quick. TPPCREW making their own opposing move up the Dorito side. Shut Up We're Trying corner player wisely decides to spread it out to the snake. Unfortunately, he's picked the worst bunker on the field, which is this mini Dorito. Oh, Shut Up We're Trying player up the middle at the 50. I think he's unaware of a TPPCREW player in the Dorito just a few feet away. This might be Logan Henzel here in the Snake 50. I believe it is. Logan will be joining us later on the broadcast. There we go. Good work by Shut Up We're Trying. A penalty on a 3-on-3, I believe, at that point, but they pushed it out. Good work, Shut Up We're Trying. Shout out to TPPCREW. By the way, they are out of Puerto Rico, Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. Their home park is Tito's Paintball Park. That's up in the northeast corner of the mainland, not too far from San Juan. So if you're going to Puerto Rico to do some tourist stuff, maybe take a swing by, play a little paintball. All right, jumping back over to the other match, we got Philly Corrupt versus Pittsburgh MASTODON. We're going to have MASTODON on your right, Philly Corrupt in those sweet blue jerseys on your left. Philly Corrupt up by 1 point, not enough to really change strategy yet for either team. MASTODON chooses to go single player at home. Philly Corrupt's going to double up at home. They're going to go for that tower. I think they're going to lose it. They're going to lose their tower. They're going to lose their Dorito. Oh, my God, there's players just walking off like it's a caravan. This is not the start Corrupt needed at this point. They lost 3 players in the first 10 seconds of the game. Meanwhile, MASTODON pushing on all fronts, up the middle, up the Dorito side, now into the snake. Another player walking off for Corrupt. Last player chooses to take the worst bunker in the field. This mini Dorito in the corner is a death trap. Sometimes you're going to have to stop there, to get into the snake or even to spread the field wide. But, dude, this mini Dorito in the back corner over here by the snake, do not go to it if you don't have to. MASTODON going to blow that point up. I believe they're off the break shooting netted them the tower, the snake side tower. But after that, it was just winning gunfights and maybe a little bit of sloppiness over there for Shut Up We're Trying. Great point for Corrupt. Get a chance, stop by alabamapaintball.com, one of the sponsors that helps make this happen.
20 seconds.
Take your group, go play some paintball, folks. If you're listening to the stream, I'm sure you're already playing paintball, but if you're in the Alabama area, give them a try.
10 seconds.
All right, Shut Up We're Trying versus TPPCREW. Shut Up We're Trying with a 1 point lead. Again, 9 minutes on the clock.
Game on.
Looks like we're going to double up for home for both teams. Shut Up We're Trying into the snake. They're going to lose their snake player immediately. They're going to lose 2 players immediately. TPP Crew going up the middle, but he's going to die trying it. I think this meta is developing, and we're learning up the middle is a tough place to live on this field. Actually, both teams dropping 2 players. I think we're tied up 3-3. Another player walking off for TPP Crew, though. Shut up, we're trying, getting into that snake, getting out of that snake corner. You know what we're calling the mini brick, or snake 1. Shut up, we're trying, going to lose their tower player up the middle. TPP Crew firmly in control at this point. They just need to finish it out. Without that snake tower hot, it's easier for TPP Crew to move up to the snake brick. So he's now just opposing the mini brick, and it looks like he's going to kill him. There's going to be a penalty, and that is going to finish out Shut Up, We're Trying for this point. Let me give you a preview of the reffing for the weekend. This is exactly what you're going to expect to see. If you have a hit on you and you're not calling it yourself, there's a very good chance you're getting a flag. This ref crew, really, they will throw penalties. If they find the hit and you're not calling yourself out, you're going to get a penalty. I've been watching this crew, and they're a really good reffing crew. They've been around a while. I've watched them for about 3 seasons now. But just, you know, if you got a team coming out here to play this weekend, tell your guys you have got to be the one calling yourselves out. Because if you're relying on the refs to call you out, you're going to get a flag along with being called out. All right, shout out to BKI, Pro Paintball Development Camp. BKI is an online learning university that a lot of players are using.
30 seconds.
Jump on, get a subscription, and go learn some stuff. They got a lot of pro players that jump out there and teach. They've got a camp that takes place each summer. Again, they get a lot of pro players to come and coach it. They're in a little mini tournament in it. Good stuff. And you get a free jersey.
10 seconds. Game on.
All knotted up. Mastodon on your left, Corrupt on your right. Mastodon double pushing up the middle. There is some fear of the shooting lanes if you're trying to make the outsides, but I don't know if moving up the middle is the is the answer to that. First player going to walk off, and he's going to get a flag for Mastodon, so they're going to lose their Dorito backside. That means they just have 2 up the middle and the snake insert. Snake insert's in an interesting decision-making matrix right now if you're Mastodon. You either stay there and try to stem the damage, or you get out to the snake. Both have risks. All right, Philly Corrupt in control of this point right now. They are not into the snake yet. They've stopped up at that mini Dorito. There it is. The Mastodon player chooses to cut down the decision tree that says, get into the snake now. And there he is, the snake mini brick. If possible, I wouldn't mind seeing number 33 for Mastodon, maybe make a drop back and slide sideways for the Dorito. That would help stabilize things, but that's a big risk. That's a lot to ask. Mastodon player now up to the snake brick. Forget about sitting and stabilizing. He's going on the attack. And I think he's going to pull out the Corrupt player trying to sneak up the snake. Corrupt is totally unaware of his presence, and he is doing damage. That's number 84, Chaz Daniels. He is just going to blow up this game, flip it on its head. There is a poor Philly Corrupt player trying to survive in that back corner. Body's peeling off now. Looks like they're hunting the Dorito side. They're going to choose to bunker him out. That's a fine risk, especially when you're up 3 bodies on 1. And they're going to do it clean. There's a little celebration by Chaz. Great point by Mastodon. They were on their heels on that one. They had their Dorito side blown out completely by a penalty. And yet Chaz Daniels takes it on his back. I believe Chaz Daniels is also emptying his stomach contents on the field right now. Oh, no.
30 seconds.
I hope we got that on camera.
30 seconds.
So if you're playing this field today and you're going up the middle, there might be a little slippery. There's some breakfast now in the field. All right. We're jumping back to Shut Up, We're Trying versus TPPCREW. Crew on your right. Shut Up, We're Trying a very conservative triple shooters on the break at home. They do spread out. It does work. A TPPCREW player walking off from the Dorito side. Shut Up, We're Trying overextends, trying to go up that middle. The TPPCREW in the middle. He's going to get his own check. And TPPCREW is going to lose their snake player, and they're going to lose another player via penalty. Oh, and they lost their home. Wow. Wow, it just all fell apart for TPPCREW. They immediately went up the middle, did some damage. Shut Up, We're Trying. Looked like they were on the back foot for that one, but a penalty, a couple good kills, and man, it just fell apart real fast for TPPCREW. As a coach, I don't know why. There's just so much that went on there. I don't know how you analyze. I don't know what you tell your team coming off if you're the TPPCREW coach, who I believe might be Luis Colon. I think you're just going to say, forget about that one, just move on. There's going to have to go back and analyze the footage later to figure out what went wrong there.
30 seconds.
All right, Philly Corrupt versus Pittsburgh Mastodon. Mastodon up by 1 point. We got about 7 minutes on the clock. Again, time and score is not yet forcing the coach's hands into any dumb game plans or anything stupid. So you still have an opportunity to just do what you want to do. What you want to do so far in this field is kind of not to my expectation, and that's been a lot of up the middle play. Again, we're going to learn about this field as the weekend goes on. I don't know any other word to use than meta. You're going to see literally the meta on this layout change as the weekend goes on, as players figured it out and coaches figured it out. Going up the middle is not what I really expected on this layout, but I'm seeing a lot of it so far this morning. Speaking of Mastodon, check out the new JT goggles. Wow, what a tie-in. Marketing department working overtime on that one. So there are some big shooting lanes that you've got to go through. Like, for instance, trying to take the snake off the break, your last 5 feet. Trying to get in there is very risky. So far, we haven't seen teams trying to straight line into the snake off the buzzer. Same thing going Dorito side. There's a bit of a gap there trying to get into the D1, so it's a little risky. However, you don't take it on the breakout, it's tough to take later. All right, Corrupt on your left, Mastodon on your right. Corrupt down by a point. I hear it. Again, Corrupt going up the middle to that 50 standing wedge. They're going to lose one of their home players. They're going to lose their snake insert player. Mastodon already up by 1 point. No, you're not going to plan on this, but if you're Philly Corrupt and you're going to lose this game, lose it fast. Let's maybe time to start saving the clock. Good move by Joseph Barron here into the snake at the same time. Number 17. Excuse me, number 7. That's Robert Giacchetti moving up to that middle. Oh, and his pack is going to get blown up. Robert's going to take a walk. For Corrupt, that just leaves that Dorito corner and this snake too. Yeah, and there we go. We talked about saving clock. We're at that point where if you're the coach for Philly Corrupt, it's time to start thinking about the clock. So he's going to choose to towel out of that one. Not a hopeless situation, but not a lot of hope in that situation. Philly Corrupt coach is going to choose to towel out of that one. I'm not sure I blame him on that one. So as we were talking about, the shooting lanes on the run out are tough to get to these outsides. So I think that's why we're seeing teams going up the middle. I don't love up the middle in this field, other than the snake side tower. Don't get me wrong, snake side tower is critical, but other than that, there's some tough living spaces up the middle. All right, you got TPPCREW on your left. They're going to double up at home, push up to the snake tower. They're going to get out to both mini temples and sit down there. Shut Up, We're Trying. Mini Temple getting a check by the ref. He's going to be called clean, so it looks like we're 5 alive for both teams. Shut Up, We're Trying up by 1 point with about 7 minutes on the clock. Shut Up, We're Trying up by 1 body. TPPCREW makes a drop back to this Dorito. TPPCREW is going to use that outside Dorito to hold in a gun. They're going to go ahead and get into the snake from it. Their tower's getting a check. I believe he's called clean. All right, here's the mini battle inside of the battle. The Shut Up We're Trying tower player here on the Snake side. He's got to prevent this TPPCREW Snake 2 player from making the move. He does not. Oof, he's going to get a check. Like I was saying, the tower player missed that. He allowed the TPPCREW to get up to this Snake 50. Both teams are aware of it now. We're about to see a snap battle between the S3 mini wall and the Snake 50. This is a big, big moment. You may see an attempt at bunkering here. Unfortunately for him, the TPPCREW is looking on the inside. So unless he chooses to go out and around the outside, I don't think it's going to work for the Shut Up We're Trying player. Now there's backup for TPPCREW. Even if the Shut Up We're Trying player manages to bunker out the 50, there's going to be somebody waiting for him. TPPCREW now doubled up with this 50 brick. Starting to push up the Dorito side too. Yep, that's going to be a mutual trade, which is okay for Shut Up We're Trying. Frankly, they're down a body, and what he didn't know is there was a second body in that brick. So really all he's doing is freeing up that side. Again, if you're a player, you don't have the information that we do watching this. I don't hate that decision. He just didn't know there was a second player there, so a trade is not going to help him that much. TPPCREW walking off the Dorito side. Now we see a little bit of push by Shut Up We're Trying over to the Dorito side. Small retreat by the TPP at the 50. He's going to drop back into the brick. He was starting to get ambitious. Now we see TPPCREW take the Dorito 3. There you go. The brick picks up on that D3 for Shut Up We're Trying. That was a window of opportunity for Shut Up We're Trying, but now with the knowledge that he's there, that's going to be a little bit tougher to pull off something big. All right, Shut Up We're Trying tower player tries to do something, maybe a drop back, doesn't work. He's going to get blown up. That leaves just the Shut Up We're Trying player in the Dorito. He's going to get blown up. That's going to be it. TPPCREW is going to bring this back to a 3-on-3, probably with around 4 minutes, 4:15 on the clock.
Timeout.
All right, we're going to have Mastodon on your left, PRELIMS in the blue jerseys on your right. Mastodon up by 2 points. About 6 minutes on the clock. You can start going into a little bit of clock killing mode by Mastodon, but we're not there where you can just simply squat down and try to grind it out. 6 minutes is way too much time. Mastodon's going to double up to the Snake Tower and then make a move to the 50 in the middle. 2 players walking off for PRELIMS. This is not what they needed. Mastodon's going to lose a player in the middle. No flag. So they're up 4-on-3. Another player walking off for Philly, though, so we're going to be 4-on-2. This is not what Philly needs. Again, if you're the Philly coach, your hand has got to be hovering over that towel buzzer. There is a chance here for Corrupt. They do have the snake player. He's got to do a lot of damage quick, though. Got a Philly Corrupt player at home and into the Snake 2 mini brick. Snake 2 mini brick looks like he's, yeah, we're going to lose their home player. This is it for the Snake 2 mini brick. If you're the coach or Corrupt, yeah, there you go. You get a towel out of that one. You can give your guy, especially in something like a snake bunker, an opportunity to maybe do something special, but you can't give them forever. And especially once the other team understands the kill count, they understand the situation, that chance of a miracle by a single player starts dropping off. So that was the right thing to do. They towel out of that one, move on to the next point. They're going to be down by 3 points, though. That's tough. All right, on the flip side, we got Shut Up We're Trying versus TPPCREW. Game is tied up 3-3. We're a little bit over 4 minutes. This is your stress. You spent all season practicing, and now you're in a 3-on-3 with 4 minutes on the clock. You don't really want to make a mistake in this point. Likely, this is going to be about a 1 or 2 minute point. That's pretty typical out here. If you lose this point, you're going to be down with about 2 minutes on the clock, maybe 3. Things start getting grim at that point. Shut Up We're Trying doubled up at home. Both teams doubled up at home. Looks like we're clean, 5 alive, both sides. TPPCREW sliding out to that mini temple, getting ready to try to get into the snake. Shut Up We're Trying is going to lose 2 players. They're going to lose 3 players. One on a kill, another one on a kill, and the second one, the third one on a towel. That's a huge swing. They've got nothing over on the Dorito side. It's just this temple and this tower on the snake side. This is not what Shut Up We're Trying needs. Again, if you're the coach of Shut Up We're Trying, you're going to start thinking about the clock. Yeah, they're going to lose both their players. That leaves, I'm take it back. There's 1 player left alive. He's going to get blown up, and their towel is going to happen. TPPCREW completely controlled that point. Huge kill, and then a penalty up the middle. Really doomed that game for Shut Up We're Trying. So Shut Up We're Trying now is in that situation I just talked about. They're going to be down a point. Clock is starting to become an issue. If there's any good news for Shut Up We're Trying, is that it didn't take long to lose that point. I know that sounds like a weird compliment, but it actually works for them. All right, Philly Corrupt backs starting to get against the wall. They're down by 3 points with 5 minutes on the clock.
30 seconds.
We've seen some big games out of Michael Janier, number 12 for Philly Corrupt. They got to look for it again. And they got to do it fast. Michael is rolling out there. He's going to tag up. I suspect he's going to come back over here, try to do snake work again. For Mastodon, now's when you can start thinking about going more conservative. You can start grinding out. When you're up by 3 points, you can get a little bit more conservative, start grinding out the clock. There is a slip and fall by the Philly Corrupt player trying to get into the Dorito, but it works. He gets in anyways. Philly Corrupt also into the snake here. No, they do lose their Dorito side player, so it's 4-on-5. I'm sorry, 4-on-4. This is Michael Janier here in the snake. Mastodon's going to lose their player up the middle. So 4-on-3 advantage for Philly Corrupt. They need to win this, but they need to win it fast. Mastodon player in that tower is going to take a hit right off the dome. Same time as back player in the home tries to make it out to that mini temple. It's not going to work. That's going to be it for Mastodon. They're all going to walk off. Corrupt is going to get exactly what they needed out of this point. They're going to get the point, and it's going to be fast. A fairly aggressive breakout for Philly Corrupt, which is kind of what they're forced into. Other than the Dorito player getting picked off immediately, I'd say it worked out pretty well, obviously, by winning the point. They did lose their Dorito player. I think he got in clean and then lost an immediate gunfight, but they did get there clean. So aggressive. That's the most aggressive breakout we've seen so far today from any team. And I'd say as far as a game plan, it worked. So it is possible. All right, even though Mastodon lost that point, he might still want to jump online and grab one of the new JT Mastodon goggles that are coming out, both in red and white. I'm a particular fan of the white. It's the kind of white goggles that maybe you buy and you put on a shelf and never use because I don't want to get them dirty. That's the collector in me talking. All right, here we go. TPPCREW versus Shut Up, We're Trying. TPPCREW up by 1 point. 3.5 on the clock. Shut Up, We're Trying, making that push up the middle. Now they're going to get into that snake side tower. Shut Up, We're Trying at the 50. The snake side standing wedge, 50. TPPCREW into the snake. Oh, they're going to lose that player, though. Again, that is a tough place to live. We got Dorito side pressure starting to pull out players from TTP. Shut Up, We're Trying, going to lose that snake tower. They're going to lose the Dorito side. Oh, TPPCREW gets over. TPPCREW player gets a little bit overzealous, runs right into a gun from that baby Dorito. It's still going to work for TPPCREW. They're going to go up. All right, Mastodon up by 2 points. 4 on the clock. They did just lose the point before. Still, again, I wouldn't say clock is a huge factor yet. Oh, that is a dead-on goggle shot to a Mastodon player going up the middle. Philly Krupp doubled up at home. Seemed to have worked. They got their first kill. They're into the snake. Another Mastodon player gets blown up trying to go up the middle. He was trying to get to that snake tower. Did not work. Mastodon is into the D2. It looks like he's clean. They got a 50 standing wedge at about, I'll say, 45-yard line. He thinks he shot down in and clipped the pack of number 12, Michael Janier. The refs don't seem to agree. Oh, he gets overambitious. Mastodon's going to lose their back player and their middle player. Just leaves that D2. Again, we talked about as a coach, do you let that player, do you try to save the clock and buzz it out, or you try to let that player pull off a miracle? He might catch, yeah, I think he's going to catch Michael. Janier's going to take a walk. There might be a miracle here for Mastodon. Robert Giacchetti making a move up here to this Dorito 50. He's going to try to squeeze it, finish it out. There it is, Mastodon. Last Mastodon player is going to walk off. Robert Giacchetti's going to check. Hit the buzzer. We'll see if it's clean. If it's clean, that's nice. It's going to bring the score back to 5-4 for Philly Krupp. They got to be happy with that. There's going to be about 3 minutes on the clock. That's plenty of time to work with. We're only down 1 point. All right, want to thank one of our sponsors, and that is Ballsack. Again, I'm going to give you a second to get the giggling out of the way. This is a pretty cool. I know I'm a shill, but I actually really like this product. It's essentially the equivalent of a caddy, except waterproof. You've got a hanger, so you can hang it off the side of your tent. You got a pod filler on the bottom, spring-loaded bottom, so that when you're dumping paint in, it won't break paint. It's actually really nice. I would be a fan. I'm going to try to steal this one when the broadcast's over, if they don't come back and try to steal it back from us. So it does not come with a pod attached to it. That's to prevent us from stealing the pod. They're right. They don't trust us. Anyways, get a chance. They have a promotional code this weekend. You can do a pre-order and save 10%. Let me try to find that code. I'll get it to you fine folks at home. Anyways, give it a chance. Go to I believe it's ball-bag.com. Check them out, ball-sack.com. And if you use the code NXL Tampa, you can get 10% off a pre-order. I say pre-order because they've really sold out very, very quickly. And they're having to take pre-orders. All right, shut up. We're trying 3 minutes on the clock. They're down by 2 points. They're going to triple up at home. They're going to immediately get up to that 50 and into the snake corner. It's a good early push without any deaths for Shut Up We're Trying. Oh, TPPCREW is going to pull a minor, though. Same time, a body drop for Shut Up We're Trying it now into the 50. So Shut Up We're Trying up by 1 body, up huge on positioning. They're in the snake 50 brick. TPPCREW is okay losing a point, but they can't lose it fast. Oh, Shut Up We're Trying is going to lose both their players up the middle. One up the middle, one up the snake. They still have one over that standing wedge on the Dorito side. Dorito side 50. He's going to wrap, see if he can do some damage, especially if he can catch that home player's butt pack. Home player's looking out the other side, though. He's now going to move up there. He's going to cross up to about their 30-yard line. This is Shut Up Trying with a point. They've under 2 minutes on the clock. They need to finish this out quick, though. Oh, they're going to lose their Dorito side player. I think we might be down to a one-on-one. Oh, that is a heartbreaker for Shut Up We're Trying. Good work by TPPCREW. Wow, that is absolutely not what Shut Up We're Trying needed. For TPPCREW, well done. They weathered the early storm. They lost a couple players to penalty. They had Shut Up We're Trying players getting to the 50 over here in the snake, crossing the 50 up the middle. TPPCREW would have plenty of excuses if they lost that point, but they dug in their heels and they won it. If you're TPPCREW, that was a great point for you. And it wasn't that fast, so you grinded some clock off. For Shut Up We're Trying, that's the exact opposite of what they needed. They lost a bit too much time. They lost that point. They're going to be down by 3 points and not much clock time left. All right, Philly Corrupt on your left in the blue jerseys. Mastodon on your right. Mastodon up by 1 point. We got 3 on the clock. Again, that's close enough that you're not forced into doing anything stupid yet if you're the coach for Mastodon. You don't have to take dumb risks yet. Now, if they lose this point, then their backs are going to be against the wall. For Philly Corrupt, I think you still play your game. I don't think you go conservative yet. I think you go ahead and take moderate risk, get your guy into key positions. We're going to lose a body for both sides, so 4 on 4. Philly Corrupt still doubled at home. They attempt to move up the middle. They're going to lose that player, so they're still doubled up at home, but they're down to 3 on 4. One of those Corrupt home players got to get out of there. He's got to peel out if he can to this mini temple. There he goes. Oh, he jumps over the stream. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the Dorito player at the same time. Philly Corrupt now just down to 2 players. Again, we start talking about if you're the coach of Philly Corrupt, when do you towel out? If you lose another player, you got to towel out. If my 2 remaining players for Philly Corrupt don't start peeling off bodies, I'm going to probably towel out also. So if you're the coach, you just got to put a time in your head. All right, Mastodon up by bodies. They have no reason to make any stupid pushes here. Just go slow, methodical, grind the clock. Frankly, oh, there's going to be a hit to the dome for Philly Corrupt. If you're the Corrupt coach, you got to towel out. If you let it go much longer, All right. Philly Corrupt coach concedes out of that. I might have been an advocate for toweling out of that about 10 seconds earlier. But no one's dumb enough to let me coach. All right, TPPCREW in a commanding position, 6-3, a nearly impossible situation for Shut Up We're Trying. On this field, we don't know what the fastest you can win a point on this field is yet. There is a lot of middle clutter. You might be able to send runners through the middle, not up to the middle, but through the middle and do some damage. We don't know the fastest point yet. By the end of the weekend, we'll start quoting you things like, this layout can be won in 45 seconds or whatever. We don't know that yet, but to the point, minute 38 for Shut Up We're Trying, 3 points. You got to hope for majors on top of majors penalty for TPPCREW. That's really your only hope here. So if I'm the Shut Up We're Trying coach, which I think is Clifford, maybe you just try to use this as an experiment. If you say this, Cliff Dyer, if you believe that this match is beyond the point of redemption, maybe try some run out patterns you haven't tried yet. You want to see how they work. TPPCREW, relatively conservative pocket play breakout. Shepherd Trine's going to lose her snake player. So 5-on-4 advantage. Oh, when the laundry's in the air again. Shepherd Trine is going to start losing players. All right. Here's where I'm at. If I'm the coach of Shut Up We're Trying, and this point's not over yet, it's about to be. Towel out, save the time. Use the rest of the match to just run breakouts. Don't worry about winning the match. That's gone. Yeah, it's certainly gone now. You're going to go down by 4 points. By the way, it's a 5-point mercy rule here on the semi-pro. Yeah, if you're the Shut Up We're Trying coach, you put this match is out of reach. Don't worry about it. Just try some different breakouts. You've got a long weekend ahead of you. Learn some stuff while you can in this field. And don't let your team get down on themselves. Great work by TPPCREW, by the way. Coming all the way here from Puerto Rico, and their first match went just about as well as they could have expected or wanted. So congrats to them. All right, there is a sliver of hope here. If you're Philly Corrupt, you're down by 2 points. You got almost 2 minutes on the clock. It's certainly within reach. This is not a quit situation. Now, again, if you're the Philly Corrupt coach and you start seeing things go badly, well, with the amount of time on the clock, you're at two. You've got two options. You either just let it ride, and just say to hell with it. Just even if I'm down by a couple bodies, or you immediately towel out as quick as possible. And you'd be down by 3 points in that situation with about a minute and a half on the clock, maybe. It's tough. You don't have a lot of good options. What you do have a good option to do, if you're watching this, is go to Paintball for a Purpose, charitable cause supported by one of the teams that you're going to be seeing later, which is Protocol. All right, here we go. Mastodon, 2 up the middle, both doubling up that snake side tower. Philly Corrupt 5 alive, though. Philly Corrupt, maybe a little bit of a conservative breakout, especially considering their point situation. First Mastodon player is going to walk up from the middle at that snake tower. Doubling up the snake tower is a weird choice. Corrupt is going to try to go through the middle. It's not going to work. I'm fine with that in terms of risks and how much time is on the clock. Corrupt starting to send bodies. This is the correct thing to do. Now they're up to the D3. Another Mastodon player walking off from that snake tower. That snake tower has not been good to them. At the same time, they take out the snake tower for Philly Corrupt, and the Philly Corrupt loses the snake. If you're the coach for Philly Corrupt, I guess you let it ride. Yeah, at 60 seconds, you're not going to come back 3 points down. You might as well just let it go. Let your boys play some ball. Again, maybe hit the buzzer just to give you a chance to do one more breakout as a practice. But Mastodon is going to win this match, barring an unbelievable miracle. Mastodon player hits the buzzer. Frankly, if I'm the Mastodon player, I don't think I do that. I think I force the Corrupt coach into hitting the buzzer. Why hit the buzzer yourself when there's a chance you got a hit on you? Which, with the amount of time on the clock, could be a flip. It would be a reverse point if I believe we're under 60 seconds. Yeah, here's a learning lesson at home. If your team's up by a couple points, there's like a minute on the clock, and you're winning the game, don't hit the buzzer. Let the other team force them to towel out, because if they towel out, there's no way that you can get a penalty out of that. So just let it ride. All right, we're back. We'll take another chance to say thank you to one of our sponsors, which is Ballsack. Again, if you get a chance, go to ball-sack.com. You can use the promo code NXL Tampa to get 10% off your pre-order. It is waterproof. It's got a spring-loaded bottom to reduce paint breakage, and the bottom you can actually pull right out because it's magnetized, so it's really easy to clean, get back in. We've got a spring-loaded pod filling system on the bottom. So give it a chance. This is, if you do any water sports, you might recognize, this is essentially a waterproof bag that you might use for kayaking or canoeing. And you know how tough these things are and how waterproof they are. And with just a couple rolls, you fully seal it off and completely waterproof it. I actually really like this product. I'm not just selling it to selling it. I really do like that product. And they retail for $89.99. All right, Shut Up We're Trying in a desperate situation. Desperate enough, they're just going to send bodies up the middle. They're going to lose the Dorito side. This is essentially fait accompli for TPPCREW. They've earned this match. We're now at about 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh, and he's going to take a hopper hit. I appreciate what I just heard. The Dorito player for Shut Up We're Trying, the back corner, is screaming, let's go, let's go, let's go. Because there's no time on the clock. Well, Shut Up We're Trying acquitted themselves well. They're going to, at least this run of time, looks like they're going to lose their snake player. It's just going to leave the Dorito side player. 10 seconds on the clock. TPPCREW can just sit on this, finish it out. Congratulations to TPPCREW. This is a great start to your weekend. This is a great start to your season. This is exactly what they wanted. For Shut Up We're Trying, they are a legitimate team. I watched them play a lot last year. This is not the way they wanted to start, but I certainly see them being a threat this year. So good luck to them. We're going to be joined in a few minutes by Logan Hansel from Shut Up We're Trying. He'll join us in the booth for the next match. We'll try not to bring up this match. I'm sure we will. All right, Philly Krupp versus Pittsburgh Mastodon. Mastodon, again, in a wildly commanding position. 35 seconds on the clock. They're up by 3 points. This is a done match. However, if you're Philly Krupp, again, you can try out some interesting breakouts. Hell, maybe send 3 up the middle. I definitely think this is a time to try out getting into the snake off the break, making a straight line run. Also D1 or D2. There's really nothing to lose if you're Philly Krupp. So use it as a learning experience. Give some of your deeper bench players a spin. Try out some interesting breakouts. Get some value out of this point, even if the match is lost. Philly Krupp doubled up home. They do go into snake one off the breakout. Now they're going to go up the middle to that snake tower. 25 seconds on the clock. Mastodon is just going to fill up sandbags. They're going to dig in. Krupp up to the 50 standing wedge. They're going to lose their Dorito side player, though, and refill it in immediately. And that's it. They'll time out. Congratulations to Mastodon. Again, great match for you. You controlled it for Philly Krupp. Not the start they wanted, but it's a long weekend. Ain't over yet. You learned some stuff. Go back to basics. Try again. You've got at least three more matches. You'll do fine. All right. Thanks again. Welcome to NXL 2025. This is the beginning of your season. That was semi-pro. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with some D5 action, including protocol and maybe a face you might know. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a minute.